All right, welcome in everybody. My name is Carol. I am the owner and creator of everything at CarolJo's.com, which is an online jewelry and accessory business for women. I am waiting for both YouTube and TikTok to notify everybody that I am live, and then we will get started. So welcome in. I am going to bring up my backup account here in just a moment.
I love how you're talking to nobody. Except for one person on YouTube.
Okay. All right. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Once again, my name is Carol. I am the owner and creator of everything you find at CarolJo's.com. We do lots of different things on social media rather than just trying to sell the jewelry. I actually don't sell the jewelry very often on social medias. What we do instead is that we have tutorials twice a week. You can join me Friday at 12 p.m. Central Time, and we are going to do a Simply Calm stacked bracelet. We're going to talk about how colors have emotions in that tutorial and how to select colors when you want certain things to happen with emotions. So that'll be Friday's tutorial. Hi, Geraldine. We will have sales on TikTok only. I will have a sale tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for we're going to be doing silicone beads. So far, what I have ready is we've got different shapes of silicone beads we have 14 millimeter, we have abacus, we have lentils, we have the round 15 millimeters. Hi, Kelly. We also have, tomorrow night will be our silicone sale. Hi, Meg. Hold on, Buttercup's raising her hand there.
Guess what I have to do?
What do you have to do?
Pack for my sleepover.
Oh, yes. But you got to brush your teeth.
I know, I'll do after this.
Okay. Hi, Joya.
Braces.
Yep, I told them that you got braces.
Well, I have to tell them too.
Oh, she
Can
has.
I just show my teeth?
I don't know how you're going to do that without showing your face.
I can go
You're in the wrong one.
I know, but I can do it. I'll show you.
Let's see if we can do it. She's got, maybe we can take a picture of your teeth and put it on there. We'll put it on TikTok, okay?
Oh, wrong way.
There you go. Only TikTok got to see them, but we'll take a picture of it and show you guys her braces. All right, you're getting in the camera here. There you go. All right. She's got their blue and pink. It's a teal and pink is her band colors for right now. All right. So, and well, silicone sales tomorrow night. We have all the shapes. We have 4 different acrylic beads, and we have the swivels. Hi, I was going to say Unbreakable Spirit. I had been looking for a job for a long time too, and I ended up not going back into the corporate world. We are just going to I'm doing this instead. Yep, she's doing okay, and she just sometimes when she eats is the only time it really bugs her, she said today. So it's been going very well for her.
I can eat chips now.
She's figured out if she breaks up chips really, really small, she can have chips.
Yeah, I can't survive without them.
Hi, Fortnite kid. But tonight, what we have for tonight is one of our chats. We have 2 chats a week, and today is a chat time.
We have 9 people on YouTube.
Oh, no, that stinks. So, I'm going to say, Joya, you're just everything left and right for you right lately. Hey, you're getting these on my table, so it's down there. All right. So, what I want to talk about, I had some ideas for tonight's chat time just to start with, and it came from watching a YouTube video this morning. I do watch different types of YouTube videos. Sometimes they're inspirational. Sometimes it's about you know, other people that run small businesses. Sometimes it's just for something that's fun and entertainment.
And
So
like when she watches, like she has an addiction.
oh. So the one that I watched today was like the it was around their small business.
I try to fix it.
Wow, that really stinks, Joya.
What?
Joya, they have a roommate that's having a hard time finding a job. So, I am 52. Someone's asking me my age. I do tell everybody how old I am. It's not a big deal to
And
me. Buttercup is not 52. It's
Thankfully.
who I am. Anyways, it was around a small business, and it was talking about the thoughts that go through your mind when you have a small business and the highs and lows and all of that. And it made me stop and say, maybe we need to just talk about it here tonight. Thank you. Yes, I am I'm a positive person overall. That's one thing that you're going to find here on my social media is that we want positivity. And even Buttercup over here is a positive, she said. And Joya, you're cracking me up. So what she was talking about was how having a small business, if you are trying to work full time or even part time while having a small business, can be overwhelming. And you're always trying to do everything, because you have to remember when you're starting out with a small business, we're not like the big corporations where they have a social media team. They have the website team. They will have the customer service team. They have all the little teams. But when you're running your own small business, you're all the teams. And that can be overwhelming. And so she was talking about that. Thank you, Julie. I don't remember her name, of all things. I don't remember names very well. Hi, Mitra. But one of the things that we have to do is that we need to stop and give ourselves grace. And that's one of the hardest things that we do. And she talked about that, yep, over here, you're even like HR, legal, the manager, you're everything. You do it all. You're the shipping clerk. You are everything when you're running your own small business. Well, I didn't do it as well. I will say that Joya said you did an amazing job even when you were at work and doing this. The one thing that I didn't do very well at when I was doing it part-time type thing was that for me personally, I didn't plan out my lives. I didn't plan out.
You have 9 lives?
No, my lives.
What do you mean your lives?
My lives about like what was I going to do for my tutorials and how can I tie that into the beads that I was selling for the week?
I thought you meant like my 9 lives.
No, I didn't have 9 lives. and that type of thing. And if you guys have noticed, I have been slowly trying to integrate that in. Did I do it overnight? Heck no. Do I not do it very well sometimes? Yep. But the thing is that I'm giving myself grace because it takes time to make these habits. And to me, these are habits that we are doing when we're running our business. And so we just got to give ourselves a little bit of grace and keep trying. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, over here, someone said oh my Lord. Catalyst. I don't know what that all means. You're going to have to explain that one to me. I'm like, whoa, I'm not getting that comment. But that's the one thing I wanted to ask. Does anybody really, are you guys feeling overwhelmed some days? Not all days. Oh, that's what sometimes it feels like, but it's not. I actually am enjoying everything that I'm doing right now. There are things that aren't fun about what I do, but guess what? overall, I'm enjoying what I do. I am learning to take time for myself because when I was doing this and working full time, it was becoming overwhelming for me personally. And I just think that for me personally, um, okay,
It's purple water
okay,
with my grape stuff.
okay. So, yep, some days you just feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
Okay. And the thing is that I just have to sit back and not let myself get overwhelmed. I can't have a to-do list.
I can.
Okay, Lori says I'm a designer and I had my second business as freelancing and that was good. Did you like doing it? That's the thing, is that as I have evolved in this year, 2025 but for me personally has been a year of evolution for me. I have decided that life should be about enjoyment. We can't live for our paycheck.
Nothing but the truth.
No. See, and Julie, I will tell you, I liked parts of my job that I had, but when it came to corporate world, I didn't like it as well. I was going to say, I can understand that one, Ashley. Having chronic illnesses are not fun, and I totally can understand it.
Yeah, from when you had like alopecia. Or whatever that A word was.
I don't have that. I have an I word. I have 2 eyes.
No? Remember when you were too sick that you couldn't even walk?
Oh, that was
the A word one.
Oh.
What was it called?
I don't remember, honey. It was influenza A.
Oh, not the one I said. That one means you're bald.
Oh, yeah, alopecia. Yeah, I was like, that's not the right word. But that wasn't chronic. That was just being very sick. I have not had the bird flu. Yeah, she is in here. She's been with me most of today, on and off all day long, haven't you? She's like giving me the eyes. But so, and it wasn't even from that. I mean, I don't talk about all of my things here, but I do have things that just flare up, and I have learned, for me personally with mine, I have to watch what I eat, watch what I'm putting in my body, and all of that to decrease the flare-ups of what I have. And that's helping me out. And by not being out in the general public, I am not as sick. And also, well, I get what you're saying, but I didn't get, to me, there's a difference in my mind about, because of things that have happened in my past, that bird flu has a different connotation to me. I will tell you that.
Bird flu. Hopefully she can walk when she has it.
Yeah. I was very, 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 very sick when I had influenza earlier this year. Very sick. No, I am not. I am not a low IQ. So we're not going to talk about IQs and all that type of stuff. And we want to be positive here. And those kind of comments, I get it. You can communicate, but we're not going to put people down. Someone was filtered over here on TikTok. And I was going to say, Julie, the organization didn't happen overnight either. For me, I have to have to-do lists to stay organized. To do this, it would have overwhelmed me to do it. It took me 2 years to build the wall. Yes, it is horrible. I was really, really sick with it. I literally was like, just...
She was, instead of a couch potato, she was a bed potato.
Yep, I was in my bed the whole time. All right. But what I wanted to ask is, like, how can we as a community uplift each other when we are having those times of feeling overwhelmed? What are things that we can do to help each other out? You know, I'm trying, I'm not blessed like that on some things. And that's why I am so grateful now that I am more at home than out in the general public. So I do not catch as many of them. All right. Lori's like support with kudos.
What does kudos mean?
Like positive, like what did you do? And when you do it, say, okay, that's great. You know, we thought it through.
Oh my gosh, Mom.
Thank you.
I'm just impressed. I was playing Style Showdown and I got first place.
Awesome. Troubleshoot. I like, and I love sharing ideas. And that's why I have these chat times that I know last week we canceled them because of, once again, I was sick. But that's what I want our chat times to like really be around is we talk about it's your time to ask questions, but I think it's also time that I have a hard time saying, hey, I was successful at this week. And I think I would love for us to get into that point where we can say, I accomplished this. And no matter if it's big or small, it's something that you were able to accomplish. If we can talk about those in our chat times. And then if we can, you know, you're talking about sharing ideas. The one thing we saw when we were doing the bring back this at 2:00, people were asking, how would you use that? And I try to sit there and say when I'm selling it, what I would use it for, but then people are also saying I would do it here. And I think it's about us asking the questions and not thinking that any question is that, oh no, I can't ask it. I would love for you guys to ask. Because I won't know unless you ask. And then I'm like, oh, I got to slow down and figure that out. Because sometimes I just get in this mode of 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and going through them and not going over some of the things. Like yesterday on the bead sale, we had connectors. How do you guys use connectors? They're it's like a charm in the middle with 2 circles on it so that you can connect items together. Like you can make them into earrings or bracelets or necklaces. But how do you use a connector? So when we're on a connector, how do we explain, how do we use it? Or can we talk about it here? And then we can be like, okay, we need to have this item on next week's live, you know, that type of thing. And help you guys get the supplies you need because we talked about it. And it's not about me selling. This is really not for me to say this is about selling. This is about getting items to you when we talk about it so that it's fresh in your mind. Or do we need to have a tutorial in the next couple of weeks about it? And that's what I would love to use this time. After I sat there and listened to this, this lady talk, it just made me pause and go, I have so many questions to talk to you guys about. Yep. Of all things, can I just say, I was even talking with my husband he's working on a car tonight and his cousin is over and they're just sitting there working on a car.
No,
Tony's sitting in the chair.
No, Tony's like,
he's on the phone. But, you know, they're outside. And I said, yesterday's Tip Tuesday was about the split rings. I've done that video a couple different ways, but taking the time to slow it down and try to show those tips in a 3-minute or less time frame, because before I was trying to do it in less than a minute, but I want to make it a little bit longer and keep it under 3 minutes so we can do it as a short on YouTube, and we can have it on all the different social medias and have those out there. The way that I explained the split ring yesterday has had more views and more comments than any other time I have explained a split ring and how to use the tool. All it was I changed how I did it. And that's what I need to, that's like for me personally, what I need to do to help you guys out. But I'm sitting here going, how can we as a community help each other out with like a technique, or with, like we're talking about, if we can bring in, I was going to say, I'm going to use Deborah for an example. She has just started doing in-person shows, and she is actually enjoying it from what I've gathered when I've talked with her. But she doesn't talk about it here, and I would love for her to talk about it here so that we could give her kudos.
The light sucks on this one.
I know, it's kind of dark over there. So that we, we can help her with in-person events, and like, okay, if you changed your layout, because like, what kind of layout is she using? That's the type of thing that I would love for us to discuss.
I need more grape.
Is different things to help each other out. And I really got to stay on top of that. Because that was so funny, because one week, not last week, the week before, I was like, we're going to talk about this on chat night, and then I couldn't remember it. I had to go back and rewatch the live that we talked about it, and then we brought it back. But I didn't do it on the next one like I said I would. I got to write them down. So, Kelly, have you done in-person events before? Hi, Miss Joya. Because the thing with in-person events, there are so many tips that we could probably give you. So, you know what? That's one thing I really, really hope that people hear. That I hope people realize, don't be afraid to speak up. Everybody's voice can talk here. Because like today, it is a safe place. And that is the thing. This is a safe place. And a prime example happened today when someone said, are those tube bales, are they for scarves? And it was like, it's the same premise, but this is smaller. And then we started talking about how we use them. And then it was when I was looking at how she said, okay, and then I don't want it. But then when we went through the second round, she came back and she's like, I think she's going to try it and see what she can do with it. And those are the things that I'm excited to see, is like, okay, do we need to have a little tutorial on it so that it'll give ideas? Teresa is asking, how many different items is too much to try to sell in a market? I was going to say, okay, so then Teresa says, I do pretty good, but it takes a long time to set up all of my things. One of the things that I changed in my display, because when it was taking me 2 hours to set up my booth, that was too long. And then, yes, it takes an hour, but by the time some of the smaller shows, you don't have an hour to tear down, because the people that have been there all day planning this all out, they were there the day before, mapping all the tapes and all that kind of stuff. They just want to go home on Saturday at the end of the show. And so you feel like you're being kicked out if you take so long to get it set up and to tear down. So one of the things that I did is that I found displays that fold up so that I could just keep them and that they could fold up very easily. And if you've seen mine, you don't have to make them as large as what I have, because what it is that how tall I have mine, I can't stand behind my booth and like navigate around and talk to people. But if you would make them like here, and I'm trying to like, I'm going to measure here. Hold on. If you would make them like 18 inches to 24 inches, this is an 18-inch ruler, I think that would be good. And all it was a pegboard, and then framed it with wood, and then we put a one of those things like for your door. I don't know what the hinge, I think it's called. Yes, it is saved over in YouTube, but I don't remember. It was a tutorial. But and then I have little hooks in there, and I put a piece of styrofoam in between, and then there's a little latch on it, and that allows you to have them closed. So if you use the grid walls, can you, like, I've seen people use the grid walls and they leave their stuff on it, but they just use packaging plastic to make it stay on. Yep, you use boxes to elevate. Yep. I've never seen the hearts going like that on YouTube. That was cool. Thank you for whoever was doing that. I was going to say I've taken French, but I don't know all of those words. Okay. That makes sense then. Okay, now we got to start thinking about how, when you have hooks that are 12 inches long, I don't have courses. We do them here as tutorials. So, okay, now we got to sit there and think about this. Now we can all sit back and think about, okay, so you put them on the outside then? So do I. And I love my Expedition to take all my stuff in and out of. I used to have a minivan that I left everything in. And I was blessed that I could have a vehicle that I never had to take anything out of. And then for about the last year, I used the Expedition instead of the van. The Expedition actually had more room in it. And it's so funny because everybody says that large SUVs do not have as much room as a minivan. But let me tell you, my Expedition did, or does. Has more room. Thank you, Rose, for the I heart yous. Let me change the gill here. Oh, and thank you, Julie, too. There we go. Do lightning bolts. Yep, I actually have to move my items from my vehicle to my booth. My husband got me a cart at Ace Hardware that folds down, but it is large enough that tubs will sit on it, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I didn't do the wagon, I did the cart. Oh, that's okay. Hi, Ducky. How are you tonight? But I was going to say, we do have a tutorial. Let me see if I can go figure out when we did that one. Awesome. About setup. We had a really good, it was a discussion tutorial night. Yeah, I was gonna say, one of the things, I'm gonna go look for it right now, so hold on. It was a live. It was, I found it. We did it 3 months ago. So it's in the area in the live section from 3 months ago. I'm going to see, add a new playlist, choose a title. What should we title our playlist on YouTube so that I can put it in there so that you guys can find it faster? You won't have to look for it. Online sales, that's a different animal. I'm just gonna do this booth setup. I'm not gonna, it's going to be public, create. There we go. All right, so that you guys can go and see that. We are trying to, and it was funny because Val was putting things in playlists for you guys to find things. It is posted in YouTube. All of my chats and my tutorials are all saved over in YouTube underneath lives. And we were talking about when Val was helping me get some things done, we were talking about creating playlists and moving things into playlists so that you guys could find things easier. And if you guys are wondering how to get there, if you are on TikTok, if you go to my profile and that lemonade line that we always talk about, and down below where it says tree, if you touch that and go to that list, all the way to the bottom is YouTube. And then you can subscribe to me there, and then you can get notified when I have new videos and such. But we are trying to group things together in playlists, and they are going through that very slowly. And the thing is that that is a place to go where we talked about all of our tutorials and all of that, and even our chat times. But I just set one up called booth setup, and I put that, we did it as a tutorial, a discussion tutorial about different ways to set it up and how to do all of that. Now, the question that Kelly was asking was about how do you do online sales? That is where I was really thinking when we have to give ourselves grace, and we are all things. A lot of people have this, and I was one of them until I sat back and thought about this. And it wasn't like somebody said it, it just finally dawned on me one day. And I was like, how did you go to college? You've been through the marketing classes. You've done all this stuff. How did you not think about this? So I created a website and nobody was going to it. And I couldn't figure out why nobody was going to it. You have to promote your website, but before you get there, it is just like in-person events. You have to connect with someone somehow, some way, whether it's at an in-person event or it is here on TikTok or YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest. People don't buy a whole lot from Pinterest. They just get ideas, but you can put your stuff out on Pinterest if you want. But this, or you X, I don't do X. Sorry, X is not for me. We have the Whatnot app, I think it is, where you can sell. We have all of these different avenues and apps and social media that it can be extremely overwhelming about doing it all. I'm going to say don't do them all. Find one that you can be great at and then take on and learn a second one while you're still great at the first one. And building up your rapport with potential customers. Just like when you are at a show, you're going to have 100 people in attendance. This is the statistics, okay? Every 100 people, you will more than likely only get 10% to stop in your booth. Because if you've seen the big shows, I mean, I've done the shows that have over 50,000 people in attendance. Am I going to have 50,000 people in my booth? No. And you have to understand and be very realistic about that. I can have thousands of people going through my TikTok in my lives. If they just walk by or just swipe, hi, Amy, they're not going to stay. So you have to build a rapport with them to get them to stay. Somehow, some way, there has to be a catch. The thing that I didn't take advantage of when I first came onto TikTok, hi Maria, was what is the one thing that most of you talk about? I mean, and I'm going to be honest, what is the one thing a lot of you ask about? What is the one thing that's like the elephant in the room? And I know I am being silly when I say this, but majority of the people stopped because of the wall behind me. Just, people are like, what is that? Or they're like, what is in them? It is literally my thing that makes people stop. So you have to have something that makes people stop and not swipe and stay with you for even a minute. And so that, and if you go back and watch my very first YouTubes, well, they're not, or not YouTubes. YouTube, I didn't do it either. TikToks, I didn't do it. But even when I would do my videos for TikToks and YouTube and all my other social medias, this was not in the background. I did not use it. Yep. And the thing is that one of the first places I ever bought from on here, they change their backgrounds every month so that people come in at the first of the month and always talk about their backgrounds. I don't have to keep my bead wall here. It's just, to me, it is now who I am, so I don't really want to change it. But the thing is find a background or find something that grabs their attention. And that is how you get people to stop swiping. I don't know how else to put it, but you don't want, my hair is driving me nuts right now. But you don't want people swiping. So you got to think about what can you do in a few seconds, because it's not going to be about me talking. It's going to be something they can see. It could be a sticker on TikTok, you know, that has something on there. There's a lady that she put, when she was doing hers, she said she shipped from South Dakota. I stopped at hers and I'm like, I'm from South Dakota. Her and I got to talking offline because of both being from South Dakota. And in our messages, it was very vague about where we lived from each other. You know, like, you know, we said, she would say she lives this way from Sioux Falls. And I'm like, hold it. I'm very close to that. And then she made a comment about something. And I'm like, okay, this is really weird. And so I messaged her after she said that on the live. And I'm like, are you near this town? And the only reason why I'm asking is because I am near this town. And so that type of thing, she had a sticker. And that's how I have actually, woohoo, we can do a giveaway. That is how I actually really, truly have even met her. I have met 2 people from TikTok in person, and she is one of the 2. She actually lives less than 10 miles from me. But it was a sticker. So that's the thing that you have to think about first and foremost when you're trying to sell or to grow your community, that type of thing. So yeah, and it was really funny because we were both very vague because, you know, you don't want to give out where you're from or, you know, that type of thing. But then we finally put it together and we have friends in common and stuff. So it was just really funny. See, I told you. See, and that's what I want you guys to think about when you want to sell here in this. It's really truly about, we got to figure out, and we got to make it individualized is the other thing. You can't all have the same thing. All right, I'm going to do a color. All right, there we go. This is a 2-word color, everybody. 2 words. Ooh, I love that we got that bead in there. I don't know if we're going to see it. Yay, I'm on the money for the weight. Woohoo! So I want to, when we get done here with this peanut butter jelly time, I love it. I am like seeing people like half of it is in this one and half is in this one. And I'm like, you guys are so close, but you got to go together. All right, clue is, oh, somebody got it. I didn't even have to do a clue. Maria, you are the winner. She guessed baby pink. Woohoo! All right. This is, and I had to get this bead in there. It's a Halloween bead. It's a ghosty. And then there's acrylics. We've got metal. We have an opalite. We have lots of different beads in there. So there is her bead soup. You're welcome. I'm going to write your name on it because I do not have one of your basket for you here. It's over on the shelf. I will add it to your basket. I know. And it was so funny because I had people doing baby blue and light pink. And I'm like, can the baby blues and the light pinks get together? That's what I was thinking when I'm like, half and half. So one of the things that I want to ask you guys, do you guys have brand colors? Because if you have brand colors, think of a background that you can use for your brand colors. You know, some people have banners made up that are behind them, like, or they are on the front of their canopies, that type of thing. I could actually put my business name right here, but what does my business name mean to anybody? Nothing. CarolJo's is my name. Carol's my first name, Joe's my middle name, but it doesn't tell you what I sell. Instead, when you do banners that are in your brand colors that explain what you are. So I'm just going to throw some things out there. Are you a wire wrapping jewelry? And you can just put, like a picture of a wire wrapped piece of jewelry along with the wire wrap, because then that will explain what wire wrap is. Do I sell rosary supplies? When I have them in stock, I have some coming. So at Texas Fireball, I will have them in about, I'm assuming about 2-3 weeks at most. So if you want to follow me and then just watch when we do sales, and I usually tell ahead of time what I have available for my bead sales, if you would like to do that. Joyous Crafter. And that's the thing. You're welcome. And that's the thing to think about is, like, how can you, in a second, explain what it is? You know, some of the people that, I'm always in front of the camera. I don't usually point down like a lot of people. But the ones that I tend to stop at more aren't always the ones that are down on the table showing the jewelry. It is the ones that have a display that they're showing. They may not be on the camera. Yep. You have to just, like Joy is saying, the only thing you have to make sure no one else has it also. There are, and I will tell you, if you guys see, there are a ton of people making pens. A lot. I mean, some people talk about it's oversaturated. I don't know that it's oversaturated, but you just have to be able to make yourself stand out, and you can get the people that come to it. Because if you watch some of the lives, some of the people that do the pens have 10 people on their lives. Some of them have 200. And it's all about how do you present and make it stand out. I mean, one of the people that in my mind with the pens that stands out, they have a teal backdrop, and then they have rows of pens, but behind it, but where they're going to be selling at, they only show 5 at a time. But you can kind of see behind other options. But that teal color makes me stop. I don't know why, it just makes me stop. So those are the things to think about. What colors are you using to make them stop? Are your branded colors that make people stop? Yep. And the thing is that the banner, is it one that you can put on the front of your canopy, Amy? Because the one thing that I've noticed is that if you have the banners on the front, then people can see it. And you just need to put it up on the big white. My canopy is white. I did shows that required white canopies. I started with a blue canopy because that's what I could afford. And it's funny because when I go to shows that don't require white, you will see, because of living where we live, Oh, that is so sweet. Yep. And that's the thing, is that can you put it up above? Hey, Angela. I was going to say, you've made Buttercup's day. So thank you. If you put it up there, that's where, then you don't have to duck. Because I used to put mine down below too. My canopy has a spot where I can put it in at. I don't know if all canopies are that way. And you know, I haven't even sat my canopy up in 2 years. Yep. And that's what it is that if you can put it up higher, you know, where that, mine has a spot this big, and then they go across. And that's where I can put my, and my signage has my old business name on it. What I do it for my in-person shows. I don't have one for CarolJo's because I don't sell my jewelry at events as CarolJo's. It is my other company. I have 2 business names. I was going to say, Teresa, since you joined us, you missed the part of the conversation. The booth setup tutorial that we did, it is out on YouTube, and we made a playlist for just that video. So if you go to, if you're not following me or don't know how, let me know. I'll explain how to get to my YouTube, and then you can watch that. We talked a lot about different things to set up and stuff, about how you do the setup and how to walk through, how to have it to walk through to get the maximum amount of space and that type of thing. One of the other things that I recommend about in-person shows is go to a few before you do them. Walk around. What caught your eye? Like, literally, don't go to look to buy. I know this sounds really silly, but go to look about, when I'm walking down this aisle, what caught my eye? When I walked in, what caught my eye? You don't have to copy them, but get ideas. Was it that you saw a banner? Did you see that their display was higher than others? Or was there just something that got there? I always, okay, when I first started, you guys, my favorite color, as y'all know, is sage green. I had sage doesn't, I know this is going to sound weird. Black jewelry doesn't show off of the black. I would hang my black on my gray display. But all other colors pop off of black. And that's why I switched to black. And I don't know if anybody else has that same thought process. That was my opinion. Anybody else have an opinion about tablecloths? And it's only because I found it pops on black. Black doesn't pop on black, but all other colors do. And so for my black jewelry, I have gray. My baskets are black. My actual branded colors are a specific color gray, black, white, and the green that you see of my website. Those are my 4 branded colors. Everything in my tables were those colors. My trays that had my charms in them were black. My tablecloths were black. My displays were gray. My baskets were black. My lights that I used for them were either black or white. And I stuck with those colors. Yep, so Amy does black tablecloths and light wood crates. See, and I tried thinking about doing that, and I changed up. Like, I have orange, and I used the orange when I would do, you guys are going to think this is really weird, but here by Sioux Falls, they have it was called a swap meet for bikers. And all the groups would come. But the women would come and buy jewelry. You know, they needed something. And my mom and dad and my sister were, and then other family members were also in with the Legion Riders, and then also a bait. And so I grew up being around motorcycles. I would do orange and black because of the Harley colors for my tablecloths there. And then around Halloween, I would do the orange and black also. But then the orange didn't show the jewelry. So that's where I ran into problems, is what would pop. I'm like, I could get my black jewelry to pop on the orange. So that's where you have to think about what colors you're putting down, is how you're going to pop that jewelry. And think about it from this aspect. When people are walking by, are they going to see your actual table, the top of your table, or are they going to see the tablecloth? So think about, I've seen people put banners on their tablecloths too. And it's for when they're going to walk by so they can stop. Get their attention. If you have a canopy because you're outdoors, put it out up on top. If it is a indoor show and you have the big black drapes between you, you can put it up there, because that's what we would do, is we would put it up there. Or put it on, if you don't have those, then put it on your tablecloth in the front when you have no canopy. So think about how you can do that and grab people's attention. There have been people that do the tall displays, but I've seen so many people knock those over that I chose not to do those. I love tonight's discussion, everybody. Ah. So, okay. Hi, Millie. I was going to say, how does that work for the giveaways? Do they sign up and do you give something to everybody, or is it a sign up and you give it to one person? How do you run that? Because that just leads me into something else. And I'm trying to figure this out, and I don't have the answers to what I'm trying to figure out. Okay. And then you draw. Okay. And okay, so for me, I'll tell you what, I have one show that I used to do. Yep, and that's what I need to work on. So I have one show. There is a casino by us. It's in Iowa, and it's like not even a half an hour away. They do a women's expo 3 times a year. It's like, one of them is called a women's expo. One is called, I can't remember. All 3 of them are handled very similar. You have to have a drawing in your booth to do a giveaway. The cost for the event is free. It was a way that I could get emails for people, but I don't know how to email people. You know, you guys, when you guys sign up to your accounts with me, it's all behind the scenes. I don't have anything to do with it. That's Shopify automatically does all of that. So I don't know how it's all done, but there's a question that's asked if you want to subscribe to emails, and you can say yes or no to it. And if you say yes to it, then I can somehow or another send out emails about this is what we're going to be doing this week. We could do our live schedule. This is what we're going to have for sale tonight on this one. Join me at this time. I could do all of those emails if I could figure out how to do it. I don't know how to do it, but it is a great tool. And it's another person that I watch on YouTube. She has been doing her business for like years. She's been over 10 years, and she's never even asked to save those emails. And she's like, I've missed out on 11 years, I think it is, or 10 or 11 years of customers and asking. I mean, mine automatically does it, but I just don't know how to send them out. I need to figure out how to do that. And so literally, those are ways that you can get, like with what Kelly is doing, she can put on there, you know, put down your phone number, put down your email. I've been trying and I'm like, holy bow. It's on my list to do sometime this year or early next year. It won't be like tomorrow. But the thing is that there's apps that you can do it, but I haven't figured out all the apps yet. I have been looking into it. I just don't have it all figured out. And so those are ways that you can grow your business, because then you are pushing them to your website or to your lives or whatever it is that you're doing. Paige, please. Hi, Candy. And that's one thing that also to help, because that is, yes, there's a fee usually for sending out the emails, you know, type scenario. But maybe we need to have Paige come on and do a tutorial for us so we can walk through it. And she'll be like, no. But that's like another avenue to be able to sell. And like literally, if I could send you guys an email saying, here's the items up for sale for tonight, and then you'd be like, ooh, then I would be like, yay. Yes. Now, Neptune is slowly rolling out their app. They started it this week or last week, but I haven't gone into Discord to see if I've gotten my invite yet, because they're doing them by Discord invite. Because there's a way that if I could do it, this, you guys are going to laugh because I have thought about this. Yes, you have to have Discord. See, yep, and that's another place to get them to go to that. It's awesome because those are the things that you want to do, Kelly, is that you want to, what you are doing is right in that you are trying to get engagement. You're trying to get engagement on Facebook. I would also say have them give another ticket if they would follow you on TikTok. And the reason why is because TikTok is pushes out so that you can get other people coming to you when you have more people going and engaging with you. Whereas Facebook is more about you have to get the person to come to you. Facebook doesn't push out as often. You have to pay for it. And I'm against paying for that. Yep. I love it. And those are the types of things, guys, that I'm loving that we're talking about. This is what I would love our chat times to be. It's a time for like, hey, I got this. I mean, who knew we could go to Page for emails if we wouldn't have been talking? You know, and we've given ideas about what you can do at your booth to get engagement to your social medias. We talked about different things for your booth. And that's what I'm loving about this tonight. Oh, you guys made my night. I actually brought stuff to work on in case, because the last couple of times it's been like, okay, what are we going to talk about? But tonight has been awesome, and I'm so appreciative of it. I do like Shopify because it has so many add-ons that you can put in there and do. Hi, Algie. Is it easy? Not always, but there are times I get frustrated with it, but overall, I've tested out different websites, and for me, Shopify was the best one for me. Now, if you ask Val that question after redoing my website, Val would be like, there are a lot of limitations. And it's really, there are, because they have done a lot of the programming. So you don't have to know programming to do it. And so because of it, you can't always change everything. So, and it was funny because I had asked Val if they hadn't gotten a job in the near future, would you want to do the website thing for other people like what they did for me? And they're like, I have a job interview. Let me wait and see about it. And then they ended up with the job. Or else I would have had somebody that you could have been. Literally, we got on a Discord call. We spent 2 hours talking about what I wanted it to do, da, 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 da. They spent literally 10 hours and got what I wanted. We had some back and forth in there and that type of thing, but that was really, really beneficial for me, of being able just to talk to somebody and say, take it and go, because I don't have time. And their time that they spent on it, yes, they did it for a couple of weeks. It was awesome. I am not the best at Discord, I will tell you that. Discord has lots of bells and whistles that I don't have time to learn it. I use it for video calls. I use it for, we can do video calls on it. You can do just regular phone calls on it. And you don't have to give out your personal phone number. I love that. I don't have to do a Zoom call, that type of thing. I can just do it in Discord. That's what I like Discord about. And we use Discord for Val and I. We set up a server for the two of us only, and we could put everything that we wanted in there about, here's a screen example of what I would like, and they would send me something, and they'd be like, do you approve this or not? That type of thing. So we use Discord for that, and it worked great. We put a lot of our docs in Google Docs and just put the link in Discord. Awesome. It worked awesome. Do I know more than that? No. But that's what I'll say. All right, everybody. I hate to end now, but I need to get going so I can continue to get stuff done for tomorrow's live. We have the silicone sale tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We will have a couple of different prints. We will have the snowman kits. We will have all the different shapes. We're going to have 4 acrylics. We're going to have some swivels. So that's what we've got for tomorrow night. So come on in and join us at 8 p.m. I will not be live tomorrow during the day because we have our baseball game. Cross everything that we can win tomorrow. Okay. I hope you all have a good rest of your night. Thank you. Oh, what is the snowman kit? I got them in here. I will show you on a pen, okay? Hold on. I got to get the last bead out. You can do these on a keychain or you can do them on a pen. It's a snowman with a hat. Yeah, there are silicones. Yep. So that's what that is the snowman kit. So, you know, we're going to have it where you can buy just the 4 beads here together. You will be able to do a few. I got to go get the pens from downstairs and get those put together. And we're going to do them so you can make keychains with them. So that is what we'll have tomorrow night. I'm so excited about those. So, all right. All right, everybody. You're welcome. You all have a good night. We will see you tomorrow. Bye.